Hi there, guys, and welcome to the Chronicles of Gamers. This is a podcast where we love to explain our love-hate relationship with video games, and I am, of course, your host with the most Efocutioner. Let the music play. Let the music play. Oh yeah. Na, na, na. You are now tuned in to episode 112 of hearing me and my wonderful voice in this podcast. So, how's everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone's had a great day, or at least having a great week. I know I am. I do want to talk about the whole GameStop situation, but it's like it's still going on, and I don't think it's over, especially since I'm taking a Reddit posts and everything. I don't think it's over. I think this and AMC, I want to have a discussion about stocks in general because I'm going through my journey with it, and I still think it's a great thing for people to do and to learn, and I hope this opportunity is the thing that gets people interested in investing, because I myself am going into it and I'm learning a lot. Like about the system and how to manage my money, and how I definitely am going to teach my kids this. And I think this is truly a life lesson that I feel like the rest of the world should know. And it's not that hard to learn. It's just, I feel like the terminology is the thing that's kicking everyone's, booty butt cheeks and this and everything, it's just like,
that's it! Now issue the coup de grace!
It's the words. That's what's getting everyone. But I do want to talk about the GameStop situation. I'm just not going to do it now, not yet. I want to wait until this mostly transpires, because I think there's going to be a part 2 Electric Boogaloo. So just let you know, I am interested. I am curious. So for those that have asked, I've had like 1 or 2 people ask, because they're just like, you've talked about stocks before? And I'm just like, yeah, I have. So yeah. Just hold. I'm holding off, and then I also remember there's one person asked about my whole philosophy on the whole gaming, like looking for games to create content for, and that's another topic I want to discuss as well. So I mean, I'm really glad that I've had a few people ask, even though one person asked, I'm like, yo, that's still a lot. So I'm just like, yeah, you guys are listening. So yes, all right, but I will get into that topic. I'll probably do the whole discussing the whole people picking games thing next week, and then I'll discuss the GameStop thing probably by the end of February. But yeah, anyways, let's go into it. So where's my button?
Breaking news!
Alrighty, man. Let me switch over. So this is something that kind of like mind boggled me. Yo, Microsoft in less than in a day, a couple of hours, like they introduced like, hey man, we're increasing the price of Xbox Live Gold, and they quickly shut that shit down. So I think it was like only a couple of hours. Everyone was like, yo, what the fuck? I mean, it was like one of those things that just made me be like,
what?
I was like, huh? I'm like, excuse me, good sir? Like, what? Huh? I was like,
what the hell?
Yo, I don't have Xbox Live at this current time, but I was dumbfounded. I was mind boggled. I was like, excuse me. So, for those unaware of what happened, on July 22nd, I believe it was like early in the morning or something like that. Like, so let's go down for my video people. You can see from audio people, I'm going to break it down. So originally Microsoft had announced that it was going to increase Xbox Live Gold subscription to $60 for 6 months, which was crazy. And 3 months would have been $30. Now, originally, they got rid of the 12, the whole year subscription thing. And it was just like, yo, I was like, excuse me? I was like, Microsoft, what are you doing, bro? Like, I was actually hella upset. So, at this point, though, Microsoft didn't really give the clearest of reasons, like, why they did it. But, as you can see here, like, it's weird. It was one of those, like, what? Like, Microsoft didn't really give like the best explanation on why they took away the year for 60 and then made it 6 months for 60 and then the 3 and then, blah, blah, blah. But pretty much, it looked like people were just saying like Xbox was trying to push towards the Game Pass. By the way, I'm like Game Pass is okay, first and foremost. But it got to the point where a lot of gamers were angry, a lot of gamers were upset. I myself was upset. I'm not really upset. I was just shocked. Because I was like, excuse me? Like, yo, you're clearly now trying to push everyone into the Xbox Game Pass, which is understood. It's a good service, but it was just kind of like one of those, like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Like, excuse me? Why would I pay $120? So, of course, people got upset, and then Microsoft quickly reversed their decision, as you can clearly see here. So it was literally on January 22nd, they announced it. January 23rd, they rolled that shit back, and they were like, we apologize. But what's most surprising to me wasn't the fact that there were some there were quite a bit of gamers. There were a lot of fucking gamers upset. But at the same time, there were also a lot of fucking gamers also saying,
why not?
Why not let Xbox charge $60 for 6 months? The Xbox Game Pass is fine. And it's great. It's good. You could play all these wonderful games. Like, all right, man. So in my head, it got me thinking, like, okay, first and foremost, not everybody wants the Xbox Game Pass. Some people just want to play the games that they want to play. I see the benefit and I see the joy of it. But it had me thinking, like, yo, what the fuck are we paying $60 a year for to play on Xbox Live? And not even Xbox Live, but now that I think about it, I'm like, yo, wasn't PlayStation like for free on the PS3? Like, I just recently put my PS3 in because I wanted to download some games onto my PS3, and I could still play online with no problem. And then they had me thinking, like, bro, what's going on? Like, why are we paying these $60 services to play online? Like, you could play on your PC for absolutely free. So it just had me thinking, like, I would like to know more about what I'm putting my $60 price point in. And I sent my little message to Microsoft because I'm just a little bit confused, like, and I've also sent my thing into Sony as well. I've not gotten a response, but I'm just kind of at that point where it's just like, I accept that I have to pay the $60 to play online because I have to play online because I'm also trying to create content and do things as a content creator. But as you can clearly tell, I'm just one of those people that's like, I kind of want to know more of what I'm buying with this Xbox Live Gold and the PlayStation Plus. Like, yeah, the free games are nice, but like, and I'm like, yeah, I can move my save files here and there, and it's just like, but both systems have been hacked before, so it's just a little confusing because I've heard people say, it could be for the servers, but then I'm like, well, don't the publishers of games also have servers too? So like, is like Microsoft paying for server on server? And then Microsoft also like doesn't hold on to your save games and save files for an X amount of time. Like, if you have Xbox Live Gold, and I think after like 5 years, if you don't do anything, it's just like, even though I that might just be a rumor, it's just one of those things. I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't know, man. I want to know more about what I'm getting into for this. So, Xbox Live Gold. That was definitely a little surprise, man.
It's spooky.
I get that, you want to push people towards the Game Pass, Microsoft, but it's just like, that was just horrible. I got to hit you with this. Got to hit you with the prices right, man. This was definitely a fail. And by the way, for the people with the Game Pass saying like, oh, well, Game Pass, not like I said, not everyone likes the Game Pass, but at this point, I get more annoyed at the fact of like, I definitely see the benefits and the positives of having the Game Pass. What annoys the fuck out of me now is the people who are like so convoluted, so far up their ass with the just like, yo, man, like Game Pass is the best. It's like the greatest thing, you could play whatever games you want. Oh, any new games that come out? Oh, you could just quickly get it. You could just get the highest version of it. You could play the game just $60 and you could try all the new games you want and then you don't have to pay for it. And it's just like, yeah, I get it. That's fine. There's no denying that the Game Pass is great. By the way, folks, like the Game Pass is amazing. I think it's the greatest thing for content creators because any new game you come out and it's on Game Pass, you can literally get this, play it, review it, make content for it, upload it, and you didn't have to keep wasting 60. And if they make any new updates or changes to it, you can just quickly come back and play it. What annoys the fuck out of me is that there are people that may not just want to play those few games. I myself am included. It's just like, yo, I don't need a lot of games. Give me a fucking break. I get it. Oh, it's also on PC. No shit. I don't care right now. I don't have the best PC. Like, yo, calm the fuck down. Anyways, though, I just gave my 2 cents on it. I thought that was stupid as hell, Microsoft. Dumb as hell. So anyways, breaking news.
Breaking news!
Google Stadia. Let me switch over for my video people. So the Google Stadia thing with the shutting down is in-house for game development. I was not surprised. I thought that was like quite interesting. I'm just like, wow. So the company is going to, well, Google pretty much announced that it's going to refocus its energy on not making games, but instead focus on allowing publishers and other companies to bring their games onto their platform, and then they can host and stream those games for people, and they can play on their phones and tablets and the Chrome, and if you want to spend $80 for the controller, yada, yada, yada. But I want to go to the part, and we're going to go to the announcement. Where is it? Let's see. There was a part where they talked about that it was not. Oh, here it is. No, I didn't find it. So there was a part where Google Stadia talked about that games required quite a bit of money and quite a bit of time to make, and they didn't see the best for it. We see in part. There's also we're expanding our efforts to help game developers and publishers take advantage of our platform and deliver games directly to the players. Now, I don't see a problem with that. I just feel like, the Stadia is definitely not meant for us anymore, and there is some benefits to that. But there was a part in here. I'm trying to see if I can find it. But there was a part in here where Stadia pretty much talked about that. Oh, here it is. Creating best in games from ground up. And I think that's supposed to be here. Here it is. Creating best in classic games from the ground up takes many years and significant investment, and the cost is going up exponentially. Given our focus on building up proven technologies of Stadia, I don't need to read that. I meant to read this sentence. Sorry. So, creating best in games from the ground up takes many years and significant investment, and the cost is going up exponentially. You know what that really tells me? That tells me like, oh shit, bro. Even Stadia knows making games is complete bullshit. Like, it's hilarious. Making AAA games, ladies and gentlemen, is just not the smartest thing. Google, with all the money at its disposal, like, they just make and throw away projects like it's nothing, and it doesn't even hurt them. Like, they're willing to try and do whatever. And motherfucking Google said, nah, we good. Games take too much money and time, and they don't know if it's worth that investment because they're trying to make games for everyone. They don't try to make games for one or two people. They don't try to focus on a particular group or organization. They don't have that expertise. They're just like, nah, we can't, we out. I can't roll with this. So I'm just like, damn. Yo, that's one of those. I was just like, holy crap. I got to play that. But at the end of the day, I would like to say, I do think Google Stadia switching over to like now hosting platforms is fine, but I don't like the fact that they're going to go to doing the same thing that, once again, Xbox Game Pass is doing and PlayStation Now is also doing. You know, it's just like, we don't need another, okay, I'm going to spend, what, $80 for a controller and a Chromecast? And to me, it's just not worth it. But you know what I think they should do? If I were Google Stadia, I would go straight into indie games. I think indie games is a very untapped market. You know, you could literally, like, I think Google could pretty much do what Apple Arcade is doing, where you check to see which indie games are, you know, working, well made, high quality, put it on your platform, sell it. And then luckily for Google, they also have Google Play. So of course, people can come in and play at this subscription. Then, you know, most people have Chromecast. So if you have a Chromecast, you also have Google Play on there. So of course, that Stadia thing could work. I say decrease the controller price to maybe like $40 and allow people to buy the controller and then let them, because at this point you can use any Chromecast, I believe, now. So it's just, why not do that? Why not go to indie games and exactly what you're doing to try to get these game publishers to be like, hey, we can host your platform. Why don't you do like a $5 or $10 service like Apple Arcade and create a hub for indie games? Like, why don't you just be the center for indie games? Like, this is something I also said with Ouya. You know, Ouya probably would have been amazing if they weren't trying to focus on the AAA aspect and shit, but focus on indie games. This indie game market is so fucking untapped, and it's spooky that no one's doing this thing. And now Stadia is just like, hey, we're trying to help publishers be able to play games no matter where you are. And it's just like, here you go. Indie market. Hi. How you doing, guys? Indie games. We're here. Might want to come over here and get us. I would love it because that way, because I really don't have the best PC right now. And I probably am not going to get like a decent gaming PC at least for another year. And when I do, then I'll be okay because then I'll be able to play whatever games I want. But man, it would just be the bee's knees to just, I don't know, play really high quality indie games like Pez or Ground, you know, on my freaking phone and just be content with it, or After Party or Oxenfree, and just be happy that I can just play it on my phone. And then if I don't need that, I'll have like my Chrome, you know, like my Chromecast, and I got my controller. I can play it on my TV. I can play it on my tablet. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it. Stadia, I respect what you're doing. I get it. Making AAA games is a hella risk. But you know what's not risky? The fucking indie development, world, indie department. I'm just saying, man, go indie. Man, fuck these AAA studios. Go indie.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Go indie, man. You can't fail if you go indie. So, also,
Breaking news!
now this one I'm actually really excited to talk about because I have tried to talk about this on my stream, the Chronicles of Gamers. I talked about this a bit the last few times. I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, by the way. And this is what I want to talk about. Resident Evil RE Versus. So the Resident Evil Versus game that's been announced, coming out. Most people have played the beta, or should I say alpha? I think it's the beta. And I want to say, I have not played it, so I cannot say too much about the gameplay and all that stuff. But from what I have seen, from what I observed, from watching other people play and stream and their discussions about it, well, ignoring their discussions about it, from what I have seen, there is some potential in this game. But one thing I have been hearing the most is people comparing RE Versus to Resistance. And I get it. Resident Evil Resistance is that game where it's either you hate it or you love it. There is no in between. And the main reason for that is because it's connected to Resident Evil 3 Remake. And because Resident Evil 3 Remake did not contain a lot for most people, I still found that game fun. It's always had that, well, they didn't work on any DLC for RE3 Remake because of because of Resistance. So it's just like, Resistance has always been that bane of existence because they always saw it as, you stop the team from making DLC and making 3 Remake as good as it is. And it's just like, nah, that's on Capcom. That's a Capcom decision. They could have easily worked on DLC. But because RE Versus is out and Resistance stopped getting updates because Neobards ended up working on RE Versus, it's gotten to this part where a lot of people have looked at it and they're just like, all it is just a shooting game. That's it? Like, this is the end of Resistance because of this shit? And it's like, I would like to say, I'm interested. I was already going to get Village because I do want to play Village anyways. So the fact that RE Versus is connected to Village, I see that as a plus. Can't really ignore that. But at the same time, I truly, truly, truly believe that this game does have some potential. But I can also see myself getting bored if I were to just do the same running around the map, shooting people, taking down things. Like the deathmatch setting aspect of it. Like I could see myself having fun for maybe a couple of months, but I myself enjoying the team aspect of it. I think team play allows you to do pretty much the same thing as the deathmatch aspect, but it's like doing an objective, like objective team play. Just even though you could be playing the same map, you could always create different scenarios and experiences. And I think you can do the same thing for RE Versus as well. We got to give it a chance. I feel like when people really get to try it, it'll be a different story. But for Resistance, I know quite a bit of people didn't really feel Resistance either until they picked it up and try it. And I want to say, especially for the Resident Evil community, my Resistance community, let's hold off on the judgment and at least let's try it first before we condemn it. Because I think there's some potential here. I think there could be something good here. And of course, if it's trash, we can always just, go straight into Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood is still going to be an amazing game. And Resistance will still be up. In fact, there's now rumors saying that but when Resistance comes out, after some time, they might come back and work on, not Resistance, but RE Versus. After RE Versus comes out, after some time, they might come back to Resistance. So, and then they also said, like, if RE Versus does, poorly, then they might come back to Resistance and do updates. But what's surprising, though, is we have really showed, ladies and gentlemen, and I just want to say, like, we are incredible people. We continue to come back and play Resident Evil Resistance because we enjoy it, we liked it, even though there's no update. So at this time, I would like to just say, let's give RE Versus a chance. Let's give it a couple of months. Let's try it. Let's play it before we condemn it. Our Resident Evil Village is already going to look like it's going to be an amazing game. So it's just like we're getting at it. We're getting something attached. This is real nice. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm just really, really, really excited for Resident Evil Village. So I get to try Versus at the same time. And if I like it, great. If I don't, after, X amount of time, like I said, I got Resistance. I'm still going to play Resistance. And then I also got Back 4 Blood, which will come out a month later. So, we got double the games. So fuck it. But I do want to say, like, let's calm down on the shit talking. Like, I'm all with people when they talk shit about things. But if you're going to talk shit, let's at least try it first before you talk shit. Like, I talk shit about Street Fighter V all the time. But at least I can actually say I play Street Fighter V. And for a small period of time, it was a fun game. Like, I can at least admit to that. It was fun. As much as you hear me here talk about Street Fighter V, or when I talk about, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, by God, that game was it's still fucking incredible. The only thing that just pisses me off about it is like when I play online, it's like, by God, I'm moving in Jello. Jello. It's not alive. It's lag. So it's just like, yo, let's calm down, honey. Let's calm down. You know.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Yes. So for my RE community, my Resident Evil community, let's give RE Versus a chance. We're all going to get Village anyways. We're all going to enjoy Village. It's just now we got a multiplayer game with it. If you don't like it, we got Resistance. If you don't like either of it, well, I say go to Neobards. Go to... I don't want to put people's names on there because that's not... But, you know, just let Capcom know. Go ahead and complain to them. Let them know. Be like, hey, man, I prefer this. Come back to this. Hey, prefer that. Come back to that, you know. I've been realizing that too. I think Gamer Composer gave me a good advice, man. You know, you gotta at least let people know first, and then once you let them know, then you can come on here and be like, hey man, I let these fuckers know. They didn't respond. Now I'm coming here. Now I'm responding. And that's it. The end. Anyways, though, we have reached that time of the show where we got to say goodbye. And before I go and before I do, I want to, you know, take some time to say, you know, shameless plugins, man. Shameless plugins. Go. The Chronicles of Gamers. You know, type us in at Google. We are on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. And that's it. We also have a blog, the Chronicles of Gamers podcast. No, Chronicles of Gamers. Well, it's like the WordPress thing. Look, you'll find us on Google. And if you want to message us, of course, which I really appreciate now that people are starting to message, it's the Chronicles of Gamers podcast at gmail.com. So it's just pretty much the Chronicles of Gamers. Then you put podcast and then at gmail.com. So I appreciate that I've gotten a few messages there because you guys do not need to message me on Twitter, which is understandable. I appreciate it. Like a few people hit up COG Podcast and a few people hit up the Twitter. I'm not complaining about it. I do check those, but it's just I really prefer the email, and I appreciate it. So I appreciate the questions. And then I know a few people on the Twitch stream, which I also stream, which is on twitch.tv/the Chronicles of Gamers. I know a few people have been asking me about the RE Versus thing. So now I got it out the way. You know, my 2 cents. I'm supporting it, even though I still think I think I'm going to probably prefer Resistance more, but I'm going to just take out that energy and give it a chance. So, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. I am out of here. I still have not thought of a good catchphrase, but stay lit.